Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another YouTube video where today I'm going to be sharing how I potty trained my 23-month-old in 3 days. If you're new to my channel, my name is Steph and I have a almost 2-year-old. His name is Charlie. We live in New Zealand and we share regular content on motherhood, our lifestyle, weekly vlogs, all that type of stuff. And if that's something that you're into, then please hit that subscribe button because it really supports my channel. But yeah, let's get straight into today's video, which like I mentioned is going to be all about potty training. Today's video is going to be rather long, so bear with me, but I'm going to try and give you guys all the information and everything that I did to potty train Charlie in 3 days. I will make sure to put chapters down below. If you guys want to skip to any specific part, then you can do so. And also if you guys see me looking down at any point, I have a bunch of notes, so that is why I am not trying to not look at you guys. It is just because I really want to give you guys this information. Honestly, this method worked so well for us and it was so easy, which is why I'm so excited about doing this video, because I feel like if it worked for me, there's a chance that it works for someone else. First thing that I do want to mention is that I did follow a 3-day potty training method 101 video from Gabriella Letty, so I will link her video down below. I used her method and made it work for my family, made it work for Charlie, put in some of my own twists, but I will make sure to link her video down below if you guys want to check that out. Alright, so let's first talk about the signs that Charlie gave me and showed me to make me feel like he was ready to potty train. The first one was that he was able to tell me when he would pee-pee and caca in his nappy. He first started telling me that every time he would caca, he would be saying caca, 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 and then he would poo in his nappy, and then we tried to teach him to say pee-pee every time he would pee-pee in his nappy. The second thing was that he was able to have a dry nappy for over 2 hours. He could do a full nap with a dry nappy, which showed me that he was able to hold his bladder, which I feel like is quite important before you start potty training. The third thing was he was over his nappy, constantly trying to pull it down, always wanting it off. He was happier naked than with the nappy on. He was really just over the whole nappy thing, which really pushed us to do potty training because it was that or he was going to pee all over himself. And then the last thing that Charlie showed was that he was just interested towards the toilet. Every time we would go to the toilet ourselves, he would come, he would point at the toilet. He just showed interest towards it, which again just gave me that confidence that he was ready to potty train. Alright, so for this potty training method, the things that I did buy and the things that you could consider buying if you're going to follow this method is a toddler toilet seat. I will mention that we went straight to the big potty, the big toilet, the adult toilet. We did not go to the smaller potties that are made for toddlers. We skipped that part because I did not want to have to try and wean him out of the small potty later. I just thought I'd just brush that and go straight to the bigger potty. So I did get a toddler toilet seat which has a step, and that means he can step onto the toilet seat himself. The second thing that I bought was 2 packs of undies. With this method, you really don't need hundreds and hundreds of undies. You just need about 2 packs. I probably went through 5 to 6 undies. That can kind of give you guys a rough estimate on how many undies you have to buy, but don't go overboard. I didn't. I just bought 2 packs of size 2 to 3 undies. And then the third thing that I got was a lot of apple juice. I got 2 bottles of apple juice, and I also made sure that I had lots of cleaning products and towels on standby just for all the messes and everything that could happen while potty training. The last thing I'm going to mention about things that you need before you start potty training is 3 full days. You guys need to block out 3 full days and make sure that you're available for 3 days. I made sure that I wasn't working for those 3 days. I couldn't have any meetings. I didn't want to have anything on because all of my energy has to be on Charlie for 3 days. Alright, so like I mentioned, I went straight to the big adult toilet. I did not potty train in a smaller potty. I also did not potty train night. I only potty trained during the day. Charlie is still wearing nappies at night. However, I will say that he is waking up with a dry nappy every night, and it has been 1 week since we're potty training. So before that puts you off, just listen to the whole video. You might find that your child actually is trained and won't ever go toilet in their nappy again, even if you do put it on for safety at night, which is what is happening to us. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about my not 6, my 3-day method. We're going to talk about day 1, day 2, day 3. So the first thing is day 1. So day 1 is all about trying to get your toddler to pee-pee and caca in the potty. So on day 1, I got Charlie out of bed in the morning like I always do. I gave him a bottle. He was still wearing his nappy, and then I gave him his breakfast still in his nappy. Once he was like fully awake, he had eaten, he'd had his bottle, he was in a good mood, that's when I decided to remove Charlie's nappy, and that is when I gave gave him a lot of juice. So the reason that I gave Charlie a lot of juice is to fill up his bladder, to get him to go toilet more. I wanted to get him to go toilet as much as possible on day 1 and day 2 so that I could grab that pee and get it in the toilets to teach him that he needs to pee in the toilet. If you think about how many times you go toilet with just drinking a couple glasses of water, it might not be that much. That could be the same with him, which is why I gave him that juice to encourage more pee-pees in the toilet. So once Charlie started chugging down that apple juice and he had no nappy, that is when I set a timer to get him to go to the toilet. So I was setting timers every 15 to 20 minutes, and then I would bring Charlie over to the toilet and I would say, okay, we're gonna pee in the toilet now. Then he wouldn't go, so I would set another timer for 5 minutes, go back to the toilet. Okay, Charlie, we're gonna pee in the toilet now. He didn't go, and so on. So my aim was really just to keep bringing him to the toilet and keep telling him we're gonna pee in the toilet. I was constantly on repeat. Do you need to go pee? Do you need to go pee? Do you need to go pee in the toilet? Honestly, I probably could have just recorded myself and just kept pressing play. That is how many times I was asking Charlie on day 1 if he needed to pee. I kept telling him, today we are doing pee in the toilet. Day 1 for me was all about communication, telling him what he's doing. I wanted him to really be aware. He understands. The majority of the things that we talk, he understands, and I really didn't want to just frighten him of the toilet. I didn't want to make this something that was out of the blue. I was really communicating with him what I wanted him to do and what I wanted to achieve for today. I did film snippets of our day for day 1. Talked about our updates, talked about what was happening. I'm going to insert those now so that you guys can get a better idea of what day 1 looks like for us when potty training. Charlie, guess who's gonna potty train today? Are we gonna do pee and caca in the toilet?
Caca!
Yay! Day 1 of potty training. We've spent the morning kind of getting everything ready. He's still in his pajamas, still in his nappy right now. He's just finished a breakfast, but we're gonna take this all off very soon, aren't we? And then we're gonna go pee and caca in the toilet.
Caca!
Yes, we are so ready. I've just been getting things ready, so let me just show you guys. So I've had the heat pump on all morning. I'm probably gonna chuck it back on very soon just to try and keep this room warm, but I have chucked his playmat on the floor so that his bottom doesn't get too cold, and I also don't mind if he pees on this because I can obviously just clean that, and the floors is fine if he pees on there too, but this is just to try and keep him warm. I've put toys out to try and keep him here and to try and entertain him as much as we can. So this is the juice that we are giving Charlie today. It is 100% pure apple juice. There is no specific reason why we have chosen this juice. It is just a brand that we personally like as a family, so why not? I'm going to be putting it in this cup with straw just to prevent a bit more mess. You could definitely put it in a drink bottle. We just don't have a spare drink bottle. His bottle here, I want to keep water just in case he wants to drink water. So we're about to get our first cup of juice. Yeah, should we get some juice? I'm going to mix it with some water, right? Water.
Juice.
We're going to make a big cup.
Cup.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because we're going to go pee and caca in the toilet today.
Caca.
And pee
Pee.
in the toilet.
Pee.
Toilet. Bravo. So that's why we're drinking so much juice, so that we can go pee in the toilet. And then we don't have to wear any more nappies. Oh, that sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? We're going to take your pants off now and your nappy, and then we're going to drink the juice so that we can go pee in the toilet. Yeah, but first we have to take your pants and nappy off, okay? Okay, you can start drinking your juice now.
Ow.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's already starting to chug that juice down, so I'm going to chuck a timer on for 15 minutes. Charlie, was in for pee? No? Okay. So we've got the timer on for 15 minutes. Okay, first update, guys. It is, I don't have my phone. It's almost been like an hour, I would say. So I put on 15 minutes as our first timer to give that a go, and it was way too short. After the 15 minutes, I popped him on the toilet. He did not go, so I put in more 5-minute timers, and I think I put 3. He still wasn't going, so then I started putting 10-minute timers. I noticed after the first 10-minute timer that I put on, t'as besoin de faire pipi? Toilette? Ok, on va faire pipi dans les toilettes. Allez, pipi dans les toilettes. On y va. We didn't do pee in the toilet, but that's okay. We have no pee. Yeah. The next time we go pee in the toilet.
Toilet.
Would you like some more juice? Okay, where was I? Let me just wrap that back up. So he wasn't drinking enough juice. I noticed when I started putting the 10-minute timer, and I was kind of like, okay, he seems to have a strong bladder, and because he's not drinking enough juice, I'll keep 10 minutes and kind of just see how he is, ask him if he needs to pee-pee. After the second round of my 10-minute timer, just before I got to the end, he pee-peed on the floor. I rushed him over to the toilet to try and get like the last couple drops, which I did not manage to get. He was really sticky all over his legs, so I just quickly popped him in the bath to rinse him down, and then he finished his pee in the bath, which I was like, okay, didn't want to go in the toilet, that's fine. He went in the bath, nothing I could do, let's try again. Came back here, filled up his juice, tried to give him more juice. I then decided to put a 30-minute timer because I thought, okay, he's just emptied his bladder. Because it took so long the first time, it took around 45 minutes. T'as besoin de faire pipi? Ok, on va faire pipi dans les toilettes. Fais pipi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ok, la prochaine fois, on fait pipi dans les toilettes. Let's go build a tower.
Yeah.
Let's build a tower. Wow. Do you want to put the top of the tower on? So we're getting a little bit distracted now because we did one pee. So let me just try and finish the story. Decided to put a 30-minute timer, and then he started peeing on the mat again just 2 minutes after we just finished all of this. And he stopped and looked at me and said pee-pee. So I rushed him over to the toilet, and he did pees in his toilet. So we celebrated, and it was very exciting. He got to flush the toilet, and now I think because of that excitement and getting to flush the toilet, he is wanting to go back and do that. So he keeps asking to go back to the toilet, but he's not actually peeing and not drinking any juice. So I really think his bladder is empty now. So I'm going to try to distract him for half an hour. I'm going to try to get him to drink some more, and then try again in 30 minutes. Yeah, let's build the tower. We have now sped up that timer to 15 minutes because he is going more often. I think his bladder's been kind of full with the juice. This whole timing thing is just like a hit and miss. You just have to try it out, see what works, and the aim is really just to teach them that once they start to pee, they need to finish it in the toilet and then eventually just go the whole pee in the toilet. So we've just gotten another pee in the toilet, which is very exciting. Did like a tiny dribble on the floor, looked at me, pee-pee, and we went straight to the toilet. I've just put the timer again for 15 minutes. So it is much later in the day. It is almost 2 o'clock. Charlie has gone for his nap, and we've managed to do a couple pees inside the toilet. We even got one without getting any on the floor. Like, he just told me he needed to pee in the toilet, and we went in the toilet. So it's looking very good. We've just had a tough nap. He's a bit overtired, sitting around 20-minute timers at the moment. He's not drinking any juice, and I think that's just because he's really full in the tummy. And, oh, pipi dans les toilettes. Prime example that you need to watch them like a hawk, because at any second they will go. I was waiting for that post nap pee. Unfortunately, we just missed it. Alright guys, it is the end of the day, officially 7:30. We've put Charlie down to sleep. So overall, I am super impressed and happy with how Charlie did. He did so well in the afternoon. So after I updated you guys at around 2 o'clock, we had a bit of a struggle with Charlie needing to go poos in number 2 and also wanting to pee, but I think he was a bit afraid of going for number 2s on the toilet, and he kept telling me he wanted to go pee-pee, so we'd bring him to the toilet and then nothing would come out, so we'd leave, and he was doing that like multiple times. We probably did it around 10 times with nothing coming out. What I would do when that would happen was I was just trying and distract him for as long as I could, and then as long as he would say pee-pee and like point at the toilet, I would bring him. I never not bought him when he used those words, even if I knew he maybe wasn't going to pee or go toilet. Eventually he pooed, and it wasn't a successful. Half of it went on the floor and the other half we managed to catch it in the toilet. The poo itself wasn't a success, but the aftermath of that, he went pee-pees in the toilet the whole afternoon after that. So I think it was maybe just fear of going poo in the toilet, and I'm hoping tomorrow it'll be better. It's a bit weird. Let me move that. I am very tired, very overdue for bed. It's been a very long day, very tough day, but I'm very happy with everything that we've done. Let's bring on day 2. Alright, now let's talk about day 2 of potty training. Day 2 is all about wearing undies and learning not to pee-pee in the undies, but pee-peeing in the toilet. It's teaching them that they're not nappies, because I could understand how the undies would feel quite similar to nappies. So we are now learning the difference between nappies and undies. So for day 2, I got Charlie out of bed in the morning again. I decided to give him his bottle, still wearing his nappy. And the reason for that honestly was just because he has his bottle on our white couch and I wasn't ready to clean the couch at 6 a.m. with pee-pee on it. So I decided to just keep the nappy on. As soon as he was done with that bottle, which takes him around 10 minutes, it was probably like 10 past 6, I did take that nappy off and he had breakfast in his undies, and he just wore undies straight after his bottle. If you were to follow this method, it is totally up to you at what time you take the nappy off. I'd recommend just getting it off as early as possible, but if you are like me and you just need 10 to 15 minutes to wake up, then that is also no issue to leave on the nappy for 10 to 15 minutes while you wake up. So with day 2, again, I did give Charlie a lot of juice. It was all about trying to fill that bladder up and trying to get all those pee-pees in the toilet. Day 1 and day 2 really felt similar. It was a very repetitive day and just felt like I was constantly doing the same thing, very much on repeat. Again, I did film some updates throughout that day, so I'm going to insert those now so that you guys can see how our day 2 went. Okay guys, it is day 2 of potty training. We're already well into day 2. It is 12 o'clock. Charlie is down for his nap. The morning was like really full on, and this is why this is my first update of day 2, but it's been a really good day. So today the aim was to have him in undies and teach him to not pee-pee in his undies, but to pee-pee in the toilet, and it has been going as good as I could have hoped. So Charlie woke up at 6 a.m. this morning. He had his bottle, and I did keep him in his nappy for his bottle. I took it off as soon as he finished his bottle though, and offered him the toilet. He didn't go, and I can't quite remember how many more times I offered it, but he ended up going on the floor and in his undies. So I put his undies on straight away and he went in his undies maybe around 30 minutes after his bottle, and he did that one more time, and then every pee after that was just like really good in the toilet. He went a couple more times in his undies but like stopped himself and he went pee 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 pee, which was awesome. That's what you want. So he like would realize that he was peeing and so stop his pee from continuing, go pee pee, and we'd run to the toilet and finish it off. So we'd had to change his undies a couple times. We've gone through 5 pairs of undies so far, and he did do one more after that, complete pee in his undies, and that was when Jamie got home. The same thing happened yesterday. I think the excitement of having dad coming home, he just wants to hang out with dad and he's getting distracted and doesn't want to go pee pee in the toilet, and then just goes on the floor or whatever, which is fine. So that was the only time. So he went 3 times on the floor and the rest of the time was in the toilet, which is amazing. We are still offering him a lot of juice at the moment. He's still drinking a lot. Our aim for day 2 is just to stay as is, continue, and hopefully just keep getting better and better.
Pee-pees.
Pee-pees! Guys, the afternoon has gone so well. We are now going to the toilet by ourselves without having to set a timer, without having to be asked. We are just walking to the toilet, climbing up, sitting and going, which is awesome. I didn't even think he would be doing that by day 2, so I am so happy. We're still struggling with the number 2s in the toilet, but yay! Can you say yay? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You've done so well. Alright, let's talk about day 3 of this whole potty training method, which is all about getting your child out of its home environment and bringing them outside and teaching them to pee-pee in a different toilet or like a public toilet and whatever. So with day 3, essentially everything is the same, except I did decide not to give Charlie juice for day 3. Personally, I just decided he'd overloaded himself in apple juice. He'd had so much apple juice that he just didn't need anymore. And also I just felt like we were in the right direction for us to just stop trying to fill his bladder. He understood that he needed to pee-pee in the toilet. I didn't need to fill his bladder up anymore. Apart from that, everything was the same. Again, I got him out of bed. I took his nappy off straight away. I put on undies. I put on pants. I still constantly was asking him, do you want to pee-pee in the toilet? I also did not set a timer for day 3. I just let it happen. At that stage, I did realize that Charlie had quite a big bladder and he was able to hold quite a lot of pee in his bladder and the timer was just becoming useless. I got rid of the timer, I got rid of the apple juice, and I just went about with our day as if it was a normal day and he'd been potty trained for months. Now, I will mention that day 3 for me was the scariest day, just thinking about going out in public and having the thought that Charlie could possibly pee himself. I was quite worried for him. I was worried that that was going to step him back, make him nervous, and then he'd go back to wearing a nappy. So I decided on 2 things. We went for 2 outings. The first one in the morning was a very short outing. It was for about 20 minutes, and I made sure that we went somewhere where there was a public toilet. So we went to a cafe. We had a little bit of food as a family. I brought him to that toilet about 5 times, and I asked him if he needed to pee in the toilet hundreds of times. And like I mentioned, we were only there for 20 minutes and we were just down the road. I just wanted to be in and out. For that first outing, Charlie did not go pee in the public toilet. However, he did hold the whole 20 minutes without going toilet. That's a good thing. It showed me that he was able to go for outings for 20 minutes without having to pee. It showed me he could hold his bladder. That first outing I found was a success. The second outing that we did was in the afternoon, and we decided to go for a walk around the block. So we probably walked for around half an hour to 40 minutes. We went for a nice big walk to the beach. What I did and what I made sure to do was I made sure he went toilet before we left. We didn't leave until he had a big pee and I knew his bladder was out. When he told me he needed to pee, we ran back home and we peed in the toilet. But he was able to do 30 minutes of a walk without peeing. He didn't ask, he didn't need to. I didn't ask, I didn't think he needed to, and then he told me, which was really, really good, and that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted him to be able to tell me pee, and then he knew pee was going to go in the toilet. So I was honestly really, really happy with the outings that I decided to do, and I think it was a good idea that I decided to go on 2 outings and 2 very different outings, just so that I could feel more confident and he could feel more confident with going out without a nap. Now, a couple of things that I do want to mention that I felt was super helpful for day 3 was that I did have a car potty, and I know this might refer back to everything I was saying by using the adult toilets, but we did have a car potty for the car, and that is essentially his car toilet. You can buy specific potties for the car that have like a plastic bag at the bottom, so everything that they do you then just tie it up and just put it in the bin. I didn't buy one, I didn't prepare for one, so we just used a regular like toddler potty that we had at home, and we used that for the car. It was really useful to have that for day 3 as well, because before we went to the cafe I did sit him on that potty and ask him if he needed to pee in the potty. So this is something that I bought straight away after day 3. I already knew this, but honestly public toilets is just not the cleanest thing, and with toddlers they want to just put their hands on everything, and I just felt uncomfortable with him touching the whole toilet. Something that I bought, it comes in this little bag, guys. It's super compact, like the size of my head, and it is a toilet seat for toddlers. So it folds up in 3 pieces, and there you go, you have your toilet seat. So you just pop that on the public toilet. So if you guys are interested in this, I can link it down below. It is currently on sale here in New Zealand from Cotton On, believe it or not. So that is how we potty trained our son in 3 days. I have a couple more tips that I want to mention about what I feel like worked for us with potty training. So the first thing being, if day 1 doesn't work, if you feel like it's the evening of day 1, your child is still doing accidents and hasn't really gotten many peepees in the toilet, I would personally stop and try again in another month. I felt so confident to move to day 2 because day 1 had gone so well, and I was already in that mindset that if day 1 wasn't going to go well, I was going to wait. I did not want to scare my child from the big toilet. I did not want to pressure him. I did not want him to feel like he had to learn to potty train just there and then. I was ready to wait if it didn't work, but because day 1 went so well, we continued with the 2 other days. Another thing I'm gonna say is just be kind to yourself and be kind to your toddler. It is just as difficult for us parents as it is for their toddler. Acknowledge that it's difficult and just have a lot of extra coffee and a really good sleep. Go to bed early because you're gonna need it. It's just 3 days. Just remember that it's just 3 days, and then it does get easier. All right, guys, that is pretty much, I think, the main information I wanted to give you guys. I really hope that it can help someone out there. If you guys have any questions, like if you feel like I've missed something, anything, you can comment it down below. You can even ask me on Instagram. I will try my best to answer any question that I can about potty training. I'm obviously no expert. I've just shared the method that worked for us and how it worked for us, and hope that it does help someone else out there. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!